All right, so we are online and we'll wait for people to join in. So we have 10 more minutes to go.
Happy Teacher's Day.
A very happy Teacher's Day to everyone.
Happy Teacher's Day.
So with us here, now how is your morning today?
As good as it can be. So today happens to be the birthday of the world's first teacher, Lord Krishna.
Lord Krishna, okay. Happy Janmashtami as well.
Janmashtami.
Look forward to the birth of the great star again.
Yeah.
Right. All right, morning Ranjit. How is your day today?
It's pretty good. It's a good start.
Okay, good to see you back again here in QRS actually since when we met yesterday. It's a wonderful morning. So I'm seeing somebody is able to join using the link for participation as well. So it's good. And I'm really excited to dedicate this to Dr. Kalam in really the way how many of the passionate followers of Dr. Kalam says. So there's a say, there's two sides of it saying you can always pay tributes to him. The best way of paying tribute is actualizing what he says, what he desired, aspired, right? So that makes it much more absolutely appropriate for today's and what we are doing day in day out at eVidyaloka. So
no, that's true for any teacher, right? The best tribute you can pay to any teacher is never do what you want to do, not
or what you think you can be actually.
Yeah, that's what a teacher does. The teacher inspires you to your potential, right? I mean, I was reading this morning about Saina and her what she was actually looking to give up last year because she actually had a very bad patch till she came across her current teacher, who was her coach, who has now inspired her to become the Cricket Ratna of the year for the country, right? So,
yeah, and we could see there are 4 live viewers who has joined in. Those who are early birds could also join the interactive session. You just need to go click on the Hangout link that's posted on the comment section. That will get you directly into this conversation with, which can make you into a conversational mode. So maybe I guess we ought to switch on the fan sometimes, switch off the fan sometimes. Yeah, thanks, Ram. So those who are wishing to join this Hangout in the participating mode, it will allow up to 15 people to join while you can continue to watch on the streaming. So you can keep clicking the link that's posted on the comment section of the events page where you have landed. And you could share your thoughts and views as well, actually. So once the 15 crosses, then you would be able to watch on the live streaming mode. So we have invites over hundreds of practicing teachers. Everybody's across different time zones across this globe who could be able to make it. It's wonderful. They would also be able to see this session recorded once it is over anytime down the line post the session. So let me see how many people have confirmed or said and yes to join this. Let me keep tracking. Yeah, so here were 11 of them, 12 of them including me, who's expected to join some time.
It's curious to see the people there. Yeah. So Bindu, friends.
Right. Okay. If people have any questions, they can also use the Q&A on their screen as you watch to post your questions, which we could pick and answer through the session. If you have any challenges or issues connecting to the link, might as well post either on the comments page or use the Q&A button.
Shall we?
Yeah, so we have close to 8 viewers so far. Welcome to the viewers. Those who are viewing this streaming, as I had mentioned, you also have an option to join this in a participative mode, which will allow up to first 15 users. Please use the link that is posted on the comment section of this events page, which will allow you to join here, which will allow you to interact with us actually. You can continue to view otherwise as well actually. So good morning, everybody. So we have 8 of us joined so far. We'll have people continue to join in. And what a wonderful way to start this Saturday. So those who have joined, wish you all a very, very happy Teacher's Day. And we have with us today Ram Kumar V, who is not only the member of board of eVidyaloka Trust, but also a passionate individual who believes in the cause of education and how it can have an impact in the child's life and hence on the society. So that's been deep in his heart, and pleased to have Ram today as one of our speakers to address each one of you. So today's agenda will be like we'll have the session start off the session. We have few people joining in. Those who are on interactive mode can probably say a quick hello. I have Mrs. Hemamalini. Good morning, Hemamalini ma'am. Nice to have you on the interactive session. And as we have more viewers and people joining in, we can either pop up the name and exchange notes. So we'll have the talk from Mr. Ram, and then followed by we could have a Q&A. Those who are on the Google Hangout can speak up and actually discuss, ask questions. And those who are on the streaming mode can post your questions using your Q&A. Followed by, we have a video tribute to each one of you, the teachers, both as from directly from our children. We have a surprise 9-minute video for you all, which can also be viewed later. And followed by, would love to hear your experiences as a teacher in general and at eVidyaloka actually. And what a great way to see you all here this morning. So that will be the broader what we'll cover in the next 16 minutes. Yeah, right. Hemamalini ma'am, I can see you here. I hope you're able to hear us. Yes, I think your volume is not coming in. You could check your mute in the meantime. Actually. Yeah. Over to you, Ram. We have over 9 viewers. I'll keep updating on how many we have on the session. Ram.
Thank you, Venkat. Good morning, everyone. Guru Bhyo Namaha, as they say. Happy Teacher's Day. Today's day is dedicated to all of you, the teachers, And interestingly, I was mentioning to Venkat, today is also the birthday of the world's first teacher, right? Curious? Lord Krishna, who else? So today is actually today Janmashtami, so it's a beautiful way to celebrate Teachers' Day. It's nice to be here today, and Venkat did want me to spend some time to chat with you, and I, to be honest, it's a privilege to actually be interacting with people who are impacting children. And I thought I should share today, this morning, on how a teacher, in my life has actually made a difference. And the difference actually, to be honest, is much, much more than what I would have learned in school formally by way of what would call as the lessons, or what would call as the academics, right? Because the reality is that the impact that a teacher creates on the child's mind is far, far more than what it actually would be intellectually, right? The impact it creates on the way of life, the impact it creates on the values, the impact one teacher creates on basically everything that the child is eventually going to be, is really what the role of a teacher is, at least in my experience. So I want to kind of step back and actually share today on what I have seen the impact to be, at least in my life, uh, from a role of a teacher. I actually studied way back in. I was studying in a place called Trichy, which is a town which obviously has people from different walks of life. And I studied in a school where you actually had right from the collector's son all the way to normal middle class people studying in there. And the biggest value that one could actually get out of the class is, to start with, you actually had what one would call as the understanding that life is all about interacting with everybody around you, as much as you would actually, as much as you would actually find a differences appearing in a adult life. In a child life, there were no differences amongst people, right? So the compassion that needs to be built was a very strong value. And second interesting value that I picked up, in the whole discussion, and even till date, I actually go back to what my teachers were talking about those days, was believing in what you are and actually, identifying yourself in the process, right? And that actually identification is not something which is explicit; it's more implicit in the conversation. In fact, I would like to dedicate this discussion today to one of my teachers, Mrs. Jacob, who taught me in the class 6. When I used to be in those days, participating in several oratorial competitions. And she used to tell me, Ram, you're going to actually be one day, be known for your speaking, right? It was a very small statement that was made in the passing, and she didn't make a big, hue and cry about it. She just made a reference just along the way. But I remember the statement till date, because that one small statement, to be honest, created a spark in me. Right, I'm today a consultant. I'm a management consultant. I literally talk every day with my clients. I present. I speak in various forums. And I remember this one statement that was made by my sixth standard teacher, that actually would actually be a great speaker one day. Right, that impact. In identifying oneself, in creating that little spark in your mind on what your real potential is, to be honest, really what a teacher's role is. It's unlocking the potential of the individual. And beyond all of this, you also look at teachers to actually be your role models in your own way. Now, as they say, the child obviously sees the face of the mother when it's born. And the child, as the child grows, you actually get to see the father to be a role model, and the father is the biggest hero for you for a long time. But you would also notice that as we grow along and as we actually get groomed, those little sketching that is done on our life, the sculpting that actually goes on in our career, is driven to a large extent by teacher, and which is probably the reason why it's Mata and then Pita and then Guru who's closer to Devam. So there is a very strong message in there on what simple statements, simple encouragements, small positivities that actually comes from a teacher's, from a small statement made by a teacher, creates a lifetime impact on a child. So, I'll also go back to a interesting event that actually happened in when I actually was in my 10th grade, and this was again, how small things matter. Uh, I had this teacher who was, there was a very unfortunate event in the school. One of our classmates actually, one of our schoolmates actually died in a freak accident, and there was obviously a condolence meeting that was organized by the school, and it was declared as a holiday that day. And there were many of us who actually thought that it was a holiday and we could actually go back home early. And just as everybody else, I actually packed my bag and I was going along with everyone. And my teacher actually stopped me and said, "Ram, are you going to come back for the condolence event?" And I still remember using the phrase, "Perhaps I will, sir." The name of the teacher is James Arigraj. And he looked at me in my eyes and he said, "What did you mean by perhaps? I mean, you have to. You simply have to. How can you say perhaps?" It didn't strike me then, what he meant. Uh, but because he actually had made it a point to come, I made sure I was there for the event. And I happened to speak to the teacher just last month. I mean, I went back to my school last month, and I actually had his contact numbers, and I spoke to him. And I told him, "Sir, this is what you actually told me that day," and it kind of I remember that statement very powerfully. And he said, "Look, Ram, this is, you actually, these are occasions when every single occasion you actually get to express your compassion with people around you. You should grab it with you got to grab every single opportunity." Now, again, people don't explicitly state that you got to be compassionate and you should be endearing and you should be loving with your friends around you. It doesn't. Those statements are not made explicitly; they are implicitly made, and that's a value that got imprinted, because that one statement of his, that you can't choose not to attend these occasions. You have to be there. I don't remember a single occasion when I would have missed being there when somebody, was needing my assistance ever since, right? Simply going back to, how these small statements actually get implanted in your mind. There have been, so going back to, what I would actually think, I don't think I'm too tall or too big to actually be advising people. You guys are actually doing a far more impactful job. It's perhaps a small suggestion if I can make on this day to all teachers. As much as possible, try to actually encourage children and identify their qualities and just say positive words, and just spread the seeds, right? I mean, they say, when you go back to, if you've seen farmers, they just, spread the seeds, right? They just, and some of them sprout, some of them don't, but some of them maybe sprout much later when there is a rain. Who knows when the rain is going to come? Who knows when the seeds are going to get sprouted? But the seeds that you sow are far more important, because but for the seeds, there will never be a sprout. And you are in that most coveted position to actually sow those seeds. You are in the most powerful position to actually inspire, instigate, and as they say, using Dr. Abdul Kalam's words, which is the theme for the day, is he wings of fire, as he says, right? I mean, there are these dreams that actually are in people's minds. They just need to get instigated. They just need to be, those lights are waiting to be lamped, and you actually just don't need to inspire those children. You have the great opportunity to do that. Every single child that is looking up to you is not only looking up to you for the knowledge you're imparting, but also for those little advices, those little inspirations, those little positive words of encouragement, those little powerful words that actually get sketched throughout their life. and just being conscious about it in itself could actually make a very big difference to not just one but many lives. And what's more important, those lives are the future of our country. With that, I'll conclude my session, and thank you once again for the opportunity. Happy Teachers Day. Jai Hind.
Wonderful. That was very short and sweet, Ram. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and how your teacher has created an impact in your life. This has been, I mean, constantly a story that I see, whoever I come across many a time. You know, what's saying, hey, what do you remember from your school days or from your schooling time, right? Nobody says I studied geometry or I know what I found calculus exciting. Consistently, what I hear is what here saying is I remember this teacher, actually, right? And when I asked why, it could be either for the reason that the person is kind of touched for life, or touched in the wrong spot for life, which had kind of either helped them realize what they are or realize what they are not. Has always been. So I think that's something is what keeps inspires all of us at here at eVidyaloka. The passionate people. We have a few of us join in interactive. We have 10, 12 of them on live viewing across the world, selflessly, for the simple reason they are here connected on this platform, for the passion for their teaching and teaching for those kids who are absolutely well deserving and today yearning to learn in our rural villages. So that's wonderful of us. Probably we can do a quick mic check for people who are on interactive session. Thanks Vamshi, thanks Hemmalli ma'am, thanks Bindu, Nikita and Vishi joining us here. Do you have any questions or points to share on what Ram has just discussed or shared so far? Hemmalli ma'am, I think your voice is not coming through. You may want to just check your mic. Meantime, Bindu, Vamshi, Nikita, Vishi, any thoughts, questions that you have to share? Vamshi, I think you're also on mute. Yes, I can hear.
Yeah, I just unmuted it. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Vamshi, actually.
Okay. Well, I have an incident to share. It's not actually an incident. It's my experience because I have we had a good teacher in our school when I was in 6th class. So he was a good teacher. More than he was a teacher, I used to look at him in a way that he was a good orator. You know, he has good narration skills, and I used to look at it. I used to look at him, and I thought, okay, I should be like him. You know, he was always with his smiling face. You know, he never beats his students. He was a good guy. That's what I can only thought that time. So and one as the sorry, I just joined the call, so I don't know the guest speaker's name, but the
It's Ram.
one
He's Ram.
Ram.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi Ram. And one day there was a discussion going on in our college in BTech. That day I was unable to speak, stand up and speak openly. That day the professor, he came to me and he said, you should talk, you should participate in these kinds of discussion. You should stand and you should openly speak in front of the people. Then I said, sir, I'm trying, but I'm unable to do it. Then he said, just look at your parents, how they you know uh, brought you up this far. They they are they whenever you feel that you are not in a position to speak or unable to stand for difficult circumstances, just think about your parents, how they supported you in all your difficult situations. Then you get confidence from them. So I think everybody is a teacher in our daily lives, we met, we talk. They are our teachers in everyday life.
That's a great point, Vamshi. I mean, that's a beautiful insight to share on this day, actually, right? And it's just not your teacher who comes into the classroom, but any individual who carries this trait of may trying to see someone else more better, successful, happier, right? I think that's probably is also the spirit in which each one of you today are teaching the kids at, right? So you all have your own professions and various walks of life, and still come here to help in much more structured and formal way. Awesome, yeah. Thanks, Vamshi. Bindu, you have any questions or thoughts to share on this?
Well, what I remember from my school is probably the friends I had more than any teachers. Maybe because they haven't impacted me in the way that few of you have been privileged enough to be impacted. However, what I have learned is that a good teacher is someone who's beyond somebody who teaches you a subject. So those things I have learned from life itself than from my school. And I think a teacher, somewhere I remember reading that a teacher is a second mother, and mother is the first teacher. So in that sense, being a second mother to the child whom I am teaching, the most important thing I have realized is to value the child and to make that child feel that he or she is special, and that teaching is fun, and bringing that out, I realize, it makes me a better person and helps to bring out the best in the child. And the biggest reward is, say for example, in eVidyaloka, when I did the scorecard for my school, the biggest reward was because I am not able to get the feedback. It's a virtual classroom, so it's got its own limitations. But when I look at the scorecard, that's the biggest reward, because the effort that you people are taking and the effort that I am taking is actually shown in the scorecard when the kids are performing really well. So that was the biggest reward point for me, and I thank Vidyaloka for helping me reach that point. Thanks.
Wonderful. So we have Smita and Hilda. Can you hear us again? Yeah, just settling down. Sure, we'll give it a minute. Smita, are you able to hear all of us? And you have any points to ask in what Ram has covered or shared, actually?
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
It's actually fun teaching those students, those who are not able to get a good education like what our children are getting. And I learn a lot along with teaching them, and the basics what we are teaching there is very important. So throughout their life, they have to know all those basics. So that's why I have taken 6th standard maths. It's really fun teaching them.
Wonderful. We'll come to the sharing of experiences section in a short while of time, actually. Hemal, are you able to hear me?
I can hear you, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. Wonderful.
Okay.
Do you have any thoughts to add to what Mr. Ram had shared, or any questions?
Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. It was nice listening to Mr. Ram. Everybody goes through the same feelings once up during their school life. Is it audio? Is it clear, sir?
Yes. There is very clear.
Yeah. And first of all, let me thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity to be with the students of this eVidyaloka. It's nice. I enjoy every session of with them. And it's nice watching them, but only my small issue is when they don't do something, in the sense you give them some homeworks in some of them or you're not able to do. I don't know how to make it more effective, actually. Suppose you are there in the class, then you can just make them do. Of course, I do repeat, or even if there is one or two who is not able to do that, I repeat, actually, I try to help them, but I don't know, I mean, how we can go about it further. That is point one. Point two, uh, regarding the resources there, sir. Hello?
Yes.
Regarding the resources there, I mean, are we managing it? Is eVidyaloka managing that? Or is it the school's responsibility if something is not functioning well or something?
Sure. So we will in a moment come to our experiences and these things, ma'am, in a moment. So in between, I do want to kind of highlight the video tribute that we have from the children, and I will take this question. I'll park this question to be responded right after that. Actually,
Thank you, sir.
sure. Morning, Deepika. Thanks for joining in here. Sure. Yeah, Nikita, you have any questions for Ram? You had been on various roles at eVidyaloka, and anyway, we'll come to that point again, as I said, in a short while. But any thoughts on the impact of teacher and the values that they imbibe on us, apart from the subject? If you have anything to share, we'll do it before we switch to the next segment of sharing the video. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll reserve your thoughts for the. I'm going to share the screen now to run the video. Our children, your children, have expressed themselves to you on this day, and let's watch it over for the next 9 minutes. If you can just confirm either on the chat or through mic that you're able to do it, that'll be great. So just a pulse check. We have close to 22 people now right now participating. 10 of us in person and around 10 of us viewing live. Okay, so are you all able to? Are you all able to view the screen that is shared, the video?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll play it off right now.
What is the one action which will make you great? Every one of you has a page in the history of the world. What is that page? How many write that page you should join? It is unique to you, a vision you have. What I do, remember for what I did, none of us are what I did, remember for. If you find an answer for this question in a few lines, that of out of box idea will drive you for the rest of your life. You will definitely think something different on an out of box question. What are they? I learned every youth wants to be unique. Every youth wants to be unique. But the world around you is doing it best. They like to just everybody else. Whether you want to be you or everybody else. Everybody else is convenient at the first glance, but not satisfying with the long vision. The challenge that my young friends is that you have to fight the hardest battle which any human being ever imagined to fight, and never stop fighting until you arrive at your destined place. That is the unique thing. As we dedicate this Teacher's Day to Dr. Kalam, eVidyaloka aspires to really translate his vision for India into action. What started off as a passion in one small remote village called Telugu in Tamil Nadu 4 years ago, today has reached far and beyond the 4 different states across this country, penetrating into 40 different remote rural village locations. Leading from the front These local grassroots organizations that we are absolutely proud of, and they remind the face of eVidyaloka to the children taking these classes every day. To these 40 villages, over 300 plus teachers actively from various different time zones across 103 cities, from 11 different countries and 5 continents, constantly have instilled confidence and inspiration to learn to over 2,300 plus children. Let's listen in from them.
मेरा नाम मुफ्ती कुमारी है। मैं क्लास 8 में पढ़ती हूँ। मैं भी हमारे स्वामी मैं जान के से चुनाव। मेरा नाम मुफ्ती कुमार है। मैं 7 क्लास में पढ़ता हूँ। मेरा नाम मयंक उपाध्याय है। 8वीं कक्षा का छात्र हूँ। मैं कक्षा 7 की छात्रा हूँ। ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ವಿಜಯಪಡಾಕ್. ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಪ್ರಾಥಮಿಕ ಶಾಲೆ ಮನಗುಂಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು 7ನೇ ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಓದುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಮೇಡಮ್. मेरी प्रवीणा मैं 6th क्लास चलती हूँ। నా పేరు వరలక్ష్మి. నేను 7th క్లాస్ చదువుతున్నాను. ఈ విద్యలో నమస్కారం. నా ಹೆಸರು మొహమ్మద్ అంగా. ನಾನು 7th క్లాస్ నుండి నా పేరు ప్రశాంత్. నాకు కంప్యూటర్ లెసన్లు వచ్చే ఇంగ్లీష్ సబ్జెక్ట్ ఇష్టం. నా ಹೆಸರು ಎಲ್ಲಾಡಿ ಏಳನೇ ತರಗತಿ. ನಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನನ್ನ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. ನನ್ನ పేరు శివవాణి. 8వ తరగతి చదువుతున్నాను. ఈ విద్యార్థి ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಚೈತ್ರಾಣಿ. ನಾನು भगवानी में मैं 6th क्लास में पढ़ती हूँ। मेरा नाम शिवानी कुमारी है। मैं 6th क्लास में पढ़ती हूँ। ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಸರಸ್ವತಿ ಶರಣ. నా పేరు సంతోష్. అమ్మ నా పేరు సరితానే. పేరు సంతోష్. हमारे विद्यालय लोका की पढ़ाई होती है जिसमें 2 टीचर पढ़ाते हैं। एक का नाम स्मृति स्मिता है, दूसरे का नाम पूरा कुमारी है। और इसमें से हमें सबसे अच्छा श्वेता मैम लगती है क्योंकि वो हमें बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ाते हैं और बहुत अच्छे से हंसी मजाक भी करते हैं। विज्ञान से हम लोग बहुत प्राप्त भी कर सकते हैं इसलिए क्योंकि विज्ञान से ही सारा चीज हम लोग का बना हुआ है। और हम लोगों को गणित में राहुल और विज्ञान में प्रवीण सक्सेना पढ़ाते हैं। और इसमें मुझे नौवीं पढ़ाई सबसे अच्छी लगती है। हिंदू में क्लास सबसे अच्छी लगती है और श्वेता क्लास सबसे अच्छी लगती है। और मुझे पढ़ाई में ठीक से लगती है। संक्षिप्त तरीके से बताते हैं जैसे वो बस सारी चीजें हमें बताती है। अमीन सर और वंदना मैम हम लोगों को पढ़ाती है। बहुत अच्छे से बातचीत करते रोहित सर पढ़ाते हैं। हमको वो बहुत सुंदर लगते हैं। वो अच्छा से पढ़ाते भी हैं। रेणुका मैडम साइंस చెప్తున్నారు. ప్రవీణ మేడం లెక్కలు ఇంగ్లీష్ చెప్తున్నారు. శ్రీ మేడం లెక్కలు చెప్తున్నారు. మాకు చాలా అర్థమవుతున్నాయి. ఇక్కడ ఏమైనా మిస్ అయిన క్లాసులు ఉంటే ఆ వీడియోల ద్వారా మాకు చెప్తున్నారు. మాకు సైన్స్ కి శ్రీరామ్ సార్, మ్యాథ్స్ కి భాగ్యలక్ష్మి మేడం, సాయి శిరీష మేడం బాగా చెప్తున్నారు. శ్రీరామ్ సార్ నైట్ నుంచి కూడా చెప్తున్నారు. ఈ అవకాశం మాకు మేడం ఇంగ్లీష్, కార్తిక్ సార్ మ్యాథ్స్ చెప్తున్నారు. ಈ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗೈತಿ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರದೇ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಪ್ರಯೋಗಗಳನ್ನು ಇವ್ರು ಕಲಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಸಂತೋಷ ಐತಿ. ಅಂತ ಯಾರು ಕೇಳ್ತಿರೋಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕರೆದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇರ್ತದ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಈಗ ಶಾಲೆ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಶಾಲೆ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಇದು ಮಾಡೋಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసులు నా ఛానల్స్ గురించి డిస్కస్ చేస్తూ మేడం పాటలు బాగా చెప్పారు. ఆ మేడం పాటలను చాలా ఇష్టం. పుస్తకాలు చదవడం కన్నా మోడర్న్ టెక్నాలజీ ఉపయోగించి క్లాసెస్ చెప్తున్నారు. మాకు ఏవిఎస్ఎస్ రమేష్ సార్ మ్యాథ్స్ చెప్తున్నారు. గౌతమ్ మేడం సైన్స్ చెప్తున్నారు. గౌతమ్ మేడం అర్థం చేస్తున్నారు. వీడియోస్ చూపిస్తున్నారు. సైన్స్ హరిత మేడం మ్యాథ్స్, శ్రీకాంత్ సార్ అక్షర మేడం సైన్స్ ఇంగ్లీష్ చెప్తున్నారు. రామసుధాకర్ సార్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ కోసం ఇస్తున్నారు. Happy Teacher's Day, madam. Happy Teacher's Day. eVidyaloka Teachers Day. Happy Teacher's Day. Okay, now was Nichna. eVidyaloka Teachers Day. Teachers Day ಶುಭಾಕಾಂಕ್ಷೆ. ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಡೇ.
All right, that's a. Hope most of you are able to listen in. Just a small disclaimer: we have just put our best efforts to kind of capture from as many children as we could. As you see, there are so many children across these countries, so it is only a representative of what our children has got to say to you, the teachers. Your teacher's name might not have got directly. Their children wouldn't have got featured into this. Just a simple logistical, administrative constraint that is. But in no less, there have been many people who are coming back and said, "I have it now. Why you are not including mine into this video?" And I would like to say this to my teacher, and I'm sure they will come and share in your next class the joy and happiness that they have in attending each one of your classes. So that's really from our children. And I would like to basically we have, I mean, in the form of felicitation to each one of you in the form of a digital certificate. In the interest of those who have joined here right now, I would like to kind of read that through as a matter of expressing our gratitude to each one of you. You will receive a soft copy of the same, and those who are able to come in person will get a hard copy of the same. So I'll take this moment to, on behalf of everyone from the children's side and the key stakeholders, I would like to share out the certificate for each one of you here. So in the meantime, if there are any comments, I'll take a minute to kind of bring that up. Any comments on the video are most welcome to be shared.
So I think it was interesting to hear the children actually. You could actually see the joy in the children. The videos become a matter of routine, right? I mean, the whole teaching mode has actually become the default mode is the video mode, which is really interesting, right? So it's a very different world from what we perhaps grew up with. And that's fascinating. Very, very different world.
The consistent thing that you can see across all the classrooms was, of course, the other than the blue uniform, was you can can clearly see the impressionable minds. I mean, you can clearly see that children are just waiting to absorb everything around them, right? It's actually, if you look at the what this platform provides for each one of you to make an impression, is just amazing, sitting at the comfort of your home. And the only I think complaint at this time is that we are not able to reach more and more of these children who need this, right? And if you look at this, these are, as Venkat keeps saying, these are just underserved children. I mean, their parents are actually making every effort to send these children to the schools that are available in their neighborhood so that they can get education. They do understand the importance of education, right? So all that has been set in by the government, and all the infrastructure is there. But as a society, we have not produced good teachers for various reasons, right? Because it takes time to actually produce teachers. It's not you can build schools but can't produce teachers. I mean, it's simple, right? So it's important for all of us to participate in that journey, so that as we all benefited from the education system over the past 20 years, we have the obligation to make sure we pass it on. And I think I'm glad that Venkat is able to provide this opportunity, many of us, and most of you have come together from various parts of the country, around the world, to actually participate and impart that, right? So when I see that joy of these children, is just that makes our day, right? At least once in a year, we get to hear, or once in or twice a year, we get to hear from these children. One is on the Teachers' Day, of course. We do this on Children's Day too. So it's good to see. I mean, I don't get to participate on a live teaching for various reasons, but these are the glimpses I get from Venkat and team. So great work, Venkat and the other teachers. Let's continue this, and let's hope that we touch at least more and more children as the years come by. Thanks.
Wonderful. So, to the teachers out here, Bindu, Hemalini ma'am, Deepika, Nikita, Smita ma'am, and a few more, 10 other viewers of teachers on the call. Education is not filling of a pail, but lighting of a fire. Dear teachers, on this Teachers' Day, it's a privilege to express gratitude and thanks to you for being a source of inspiration and igniting the quest to learn among the children in rural India. The most thoughtful gift for these children is the time that you are giving. The time you share to listen, to care, and turn learning into an adventure for our future generation. It's an honor to be connected with you. Your impact on the children extends beyond the classroom to the rest of their lives. eVidyaloka deems it to be a great pleasure to have you along this journey, world of rural education, and salute your efforts for making the dream of quality education into reality for these well-deserving children. That's a short citation to each of us, to each one of you on this auspicious day. On behalf of all the children, once again, very, very happy Teachers to you all. And I would like to open the floor for sharing experiences from your classrooms with your children, inside eVidyaloka classroom, outside eVidyaloka classroom, and we'll spend the remaining 10 to 15 minutes discussing the same. Yeah, welcome, Rama. Hope you were able to listen earlier and coming here. So we have a few other teachers here. So Rama, do you want to go ahead with sharing your how your experience has been in enabling this education for the children of India? I think your mic is on mute, Rama.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes, very much. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi all. Happy Teachers' Day once again. Well, I actually joined eVidyaloka last year. Around this time, around September, October, and seeing an article that has published in the in Inadu, Inadu papers. But when I joined, I had I had so many curious. I was very curious to know how these managing to get the teachers teach all that in very remote locations, how they were able to manage get an internet connection and conduct classes. Um, but when I get into the work into the operations, then I realized the practical problems they face and and the support we had to give the teachers and the and to the students also. But it was a great journey to me, with the cooperation from all our teachers and coordinators. It is a great journey to me, and a great learning, from in fact from the students from the class 6 7, we learn so many things. In fact, in part of teaching them, we are learning so many things, just to teach them. So it's no, it's teaching is always a win and win thing, where you will win and the students will also win. I mean, they will get information, and from them you will also get an information. It is a win to win, and no, and that's actually the driving force here. So teachers were also learning so many things, and they were interested because of that. And yeah,
Yeah,
and
that reminds me, Rama. In fact, one of the notes that Bindu had shared in the forums amongst teachers, right? So, I mean, that's probably the beauty in this form of education, where the teacher is more volunteering with the child. Where I think she rightfully mentioned that it, in fact, is a privilege for us to learn so many things from the child, actually, right? And an opportunity, I mean, from beyond our lives here to bring up and for what we could do the best to them. Actually, thanks for being active and sharing your experience.
Reminds me, Venkat, I think when the mother gives birth to the child gives birth to the mother.
Yeah.
So, so you teach the child and you learn from the child as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe I'll take Hemali's ma'am question now. Hemali ma'am. So while I think we aspire to run this, I mean, as a school, no less than a brick and mortar school, and you all have been like so instrumental in enabling this, in making this happen, despite the technological challenges. The places that we serve are definitely not in a very optimum state, infrastructurally or the ecosystem wise. So to your question, the day-to-day classes are managed by, there is a local resource person of our partner organization or an NGO who is available, dedicated to maintain this classroom. So any issues that you have with respect to that, your point of contact or your class administrator, if you put in a word to him or her, he would work with that local person to resolve that anything that is operational actually. Now, with respect to your second question of giving, say, I think it was about following up whether the child is doing what is being told to them or subsequent interactions. Yes, there are certain limitations in the way how we could. I think we keep telling in this the teachers are even more challenged than the child, right? So where you just can make the child learn purely by inspiration, inspiring them purely by telling something that is interesting, and only if they believe and like that they're going to learn, or they can just run away or walk away from the classroom, and we just can't do anything about it. So with that, there are certain challenges, but we are able to have children, many of the children respond back by showing completing their homework. There are children who do not have a great environment when they go back to their homes. So education or learning just ends at the end school gate for them actually, right? So we are continuously figuring out mechanisms with our partner to see how we can track this homeworks, assignments, etc. But yeah, please do keep sharing your feedback on how we can get this better done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Actually, I have not been facing any problem, but I was just wanted to know that. That's all. You're all doing a great job, sir. We are always there to support you. Thank you very much, sir.
I keep telling eVidyaloka is about not just few people on this side of the screen. It's actually the other side of the screen. It's you all who actually does the heavy lifting of the teaching part. And we truly would like to believe the partners, the teachers, everyone is basically eVidyaloka. Yeah. Deepika, Smita, this is the time to kind of share your experiences. Bindu, feel free to join in on your classroom experience. While you shared your teacher experience, it's time to share your classroom experience here. Actually.
And Ranjit as well.
Yeah. Yes, Smita, go ahead. You probably can share which center you are teaching, what class, etc. And then
Hello, sir. Since last December, I am teaching on eVidyaloka to Jharkhand, Udnabad, Hira, 6th standard maths.
yes.
Initially, it was difficult for me to teach in Hindi because numerals and all up to 30 I was knowing. After that, I learnt a lot to teach them in Hindi. So now I am very fluent in teaching in Hindi. And main problem is with numerals. Suddenly, I may not get the numeral in Hindi. So now I think I'm learning the numerals again. And so, and I think in my class, my girls are more interactive than boys, I can say. Boys are always they're sitting in the last. I have to call them in the front and ask them some questions. So I like it. That's all.
Wonderful, actually. So, which place do you belong to, Smita, ma'am?
Bangalore.
Bangalore, and you are a native Hindi speaker or a?
No. Actually, basically, my mother tongue is Kannada only.
Okay.
So I think when I started in December, I think Karnataka centers were not there. I think so.
Correct, yeah. So I know these.
So I thought of because Tamil and Telugu, I'm not fluent at all. So Hindi, even I was staying in Mumbai for some time. So little bit I can manage with the Hindi. So I thought of taking Jharkhand.
Clearly, we have made the world barrierless. Actually, I mean, while you were, I mean, it's amazing. There's another person from Kerala who is actually a Bengali teaching a child in Jharkhand. Actually, right?
Okay. In future, I would like to take some science classes for our Karnataka centers.
You're more than happy. I can see a smiling face on the second box from the daughter, man. Definitely, we'll reach out to you, speak on that.
Thank you.
Deepika? Yeah, go ahead, Rajat. Actually.
I have joined like
Hey, we can't hear him.
Come closer.
Come close.
So I have an opinion like, is it realistic to reach out to the villages where there is your as per my understanding? I joined when I started working on this infrastructure related data. And while trying to fix those issues, class assistants, and what I realized was, I'm a teacher. I started teaching since students to the kids. So one or the other way, everyone is a teacher here. And I'm really loving the set of people like-minded platform. I think good experience and learning for me. Yeah.
Thank you, Ranjit.
Yeah, that's a different perspective of teaching.
But it's so true, right? You actually are teaching somebody or the other sometimes point of time. So just be conscious. Very nice.
Yeah. Thanks, Ranjit. Yeah, anyone else? Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, good morning. Happy Teachers' Day for everyone. Am I audible?
Very much.
Okay. So I just wanted to share my experience. It's almost a year since I joined eVidyaloka as a teacher. Having great time. So starting initially, I was maybe I can say I was a bit nervous, like thinking how is this online teaching going on. Physical teacher itself could not manage the school class students, but how does the online teacher manages? But as days goes, it was awesome. The kids are very interactive. They come up saying that teacher, we want to learn this. Teacher, we want to see this kind of videos. Where it gives us more way. Starting initially, I was uh, hello.
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
great.
I was clearing my voice back. It makes us more, it encourages more when we have to prepare more and then deliver to the kids. So this is how like I started preparing more for the kids, and the kids are really so happy. And I got a chance to meet the kids directly. Went to meet the kids, and they were so excited. And they like, madam, next class when you go for online teaching, we want all. They gave us the list where they want to learn. So they are expecting more from eVidyaloka, this digital classroom, and we feel it is like it's proud to be an eVidyaloka online teacher. It's like thanks for all to give the for giving this opportunity.
Thank you very much. From a very different roles and ways of playing a larger role, this happen for the children. Thank you. Hi, Rishi.
Hi, Venkat.
Hey.
Good to
Yeah.
see you guys. Yeah.
Deepika, do you have something to share?
Yes. So, good morning, all. Happy Teachers' Day to everyone. So, I started eVidyaloka like just 2 months back, and this 2 months I can say it's really a wonderful experience. Though I'm not directly involved in the teaching, so I'll be interacting with the teachers who are teaching in Karnataka Center. So I'll get the inputs from them. So how the class is going on, and how the kids are. So based on that, actually, I interacted with the kids and I took a feedback from the kids actually. So I think 2 weeks back. It's just 2 months, and they are really feeling very happy to the teachers coming teaching there online, showing them videos, etc. So after listening all this, so I just want to start teaching after a month or so when everything gets settled down. So it's really a wonderful experience joining with eVidyaloka. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Deepika. Rishi, Bindu, Himali ma'am, anything else you want to add of your experiences?
Yeah, I would just like to add, I have taught in international schools, I have taught for rich children and all, but the kind of satisfaction that you get spending 1 hour with these kids is really beyond words, sir. That way, I think I should thank you all. In fact, I registered for this last year, last July 14th, I think I had an interview with you. After that, from last 2 months, I have been teaching, and it's very nice actually, and it's very, very satisfying seeing them responding. As somebody pointed out, girls are more interactive in my class also. They give, and sometimes they come to the extent of coming nearer to the camera and showing the notebooks. They're so excited, they just want me to see that, they come and show. But sometimes because of the pencil script, I won't be able to make or decipher it properly. That's the thing. So otherwise, it's a very nice experience. We feel that 2 hours that we spend, it is actually worth, something we are doing to the society, that kind of satisfaction that we get. And I hope we continue to do this more effectively. Thank you very much, sir. In fact, no other Teachers' Day I have celebrated with so much enthusiasm. This I got up in the morning, I was waiting for that. Initially, I had some audio problems. I switched to the other system, and it was very nice. I have been teacher right from 1977, but I think this is the year I really celebrated it very well. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I mean, that's like absolutely inspiring, Hemwali ma'am. I think for each one of us in this room, I was about, in fact, prompt saying that. I mean, I know that you have a very rich teaching experience across various boards and systems, and I just thought I would prompt you to kind of share how do you feel between your experience of teaching there, purely from a teaching perspective here as well as in online, and you just said it. So thank you very much for sharing that perspective. Yeah. Bindu, will be the last. Yeah.
What the way I look at eVidyaloka and the kids are, because these kids are way more privileged than what I was in my childhood. In my childhood, or in any of our childhoods, if we have come from a rural background, because I studied in a very remote village in Karnataka. I'm basically from Kerala, but I studied in Karnataka. So I studied in a very remote village in Karnataka. So up until 20 years, I've never seen a computer. But now when these children ask me to increase the volume, they ask me to show them where I come from, what is the time in my city, zoom out Madi madam, zoom in Madi madam, screen share Madi madam. So that's like, my God, I learned screen sharing only after I came to EV. It's like, my God, these kids know more than I do. So I have to be very careful in how I share. I have to be very careful in the volume control, and I have to be very careful in what I have got in my background. So they have made me to be more alert, which I'm really happy to see. The other thing, what I have noticed is, my classes, it's probably between 10 and 11 years, so it's quite that noisy, boisterous, full of life class. So I have more boys in my class and less girls, and so there were, I'm over the period of time I could make out there were few students who were sort of not so vociferous. They would remain quiet. And so what I did was, there was one time I asked I asked Deepika, I mean, how can I make sure that everybody gets input, and it's just not the loud kids who go on answering. So what happens to the ones who are silent? So so we had a bit of a discussion. Then what I do now is, and I sort of give them numbers. If there are 15 kids, that's what I did yesterday. I sort of give them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I get all the ones to stand up and come forward, and I ask them questions. So it's a mixture of everybody. Then I sort of give them marks. So it is a spirit of competition among them to make sure that they get big marks. And there is lots of noise in class saying, no, you gave them. So it is. So I can see that they enjoy, and there is a spirit of competition among the kids. One more thing that I want to tell, I've spoken to Deepika about this, and I just want to bring it out as, I take basic English class for class 5, and there is a section called as storytelling or reading aloud, something of that sort. So there I see stories which the child may not be able to connect really well. These are stories from what I see in Western worlds, something like Jack and the Beanstalk or Winnie the Pooh. So I was actually talking to Deepika about why not bring out stories from our own culture. I mean, we've got hundreds of stories in Ramayana, hundreds of stories in Chandamama, hundreds of stories in Mahabharata. Those stories or their day-to-day stories that they have heard relevant to a kid in Koppal district than from making them trying to make them to imagine something which they will never see in their life. So that way I feel, that is something which the content developer or the people who are at the background of EV can sort of give a thought on. Other than that, I think I enjoy it because the time I finish my work and to the time I start eVidyaloka is just half an hour gap. But because I feel it is a commitment, and I sort of feel that it's a time where I take my mind off my work stress, and I'm entirely shifting it into a different mode. And for that, I'm immensely grateful that I said yes. And a year ago, I remember wanting to join Karnataka, and Venkat said there is no center. And a year later, when he contacted me, I was thinking, oh my God, this is something that I really wanted to. Thank you so much, Venkat, for contacting me again. And it was really great that we could connect again, and I really wanted to pursue that. Thank you so much. It's wonderful to meet all of you, and thank you so much, Deepika, for being there.
Thank you, Bindu.
Yeah, if I may ask, which village did you study, Bindu?
Me?
Yes.
I studied in Hanakere. I studied in Hanakere. It's a village near Mandya in Karnataka.
Okay, brilliant. So, in fact, I mean, you just stated the impact that you all are creating on this program, right? I mean, these children 2 months ago have not even seen actually a screen or a computer, as you say, right? Especially in Koppal district where we are teaching, and they are just able to pick up in no time, right? And they are able to challenge you. Actually, I mean, it's very interesting in this Teachers' Day that we didn't even share where we all belong from. I know you are in probably thousands of miles away from each one of us here. That's really is what I think. I think we're doing the right thing for the kids and preparing them for the future. I'm absolutely thoroughly excited to hear that from you. Actually, when you said that the kids are challenging you, in fact. All right. Thank you very much for sharing, Bindu. Rishi, I mean, I know you joined late here. Do you want to share something? And as we kind of
Yeah,
bring
sure,
this to a close.
sure. Yeah, so I just joined 30 minutes back the live thing. I've been hearing all of you from the very beginning. Uh, yeah, so one thing which I quickly want to make a comment is from what Bindu said is about the stories being very contextual. I think context matters everywhere, anywhere, and in education it matters more than anything else. So yeah, any Jack and Jill story would not make much more sense, I mean, than a Ramayana or something which is very much connected even to that village, because then a person can relate, maybe visualize. As I see, I mean, a lot of people learn. There's a theory of multiple intelligence, so people will learn in different ways, and this context is very important, the key factor in this entire gamut of learning. So yeah, I think that's an interesting point, and of course, I made a note of it. Probably we need to actually check with the content team as to how we can actually make it a reality. Yeah. Now, I've been here for everyone else. I've been here for like 1.5 weeks. It's super exciting to see product. I mean, the platform, the people, and the processes. So the three P's. I'm trying to make sure the three P's are in place. Let's see how much of that I can do. Yeah. First thing first, I would take this opportunity to pay a small tribute to my teacher. He is my English teacher, ardent photographer. I met him when I was in standard 11th, and uh, I joined a board called ISC board where you have to pass in English, and it was kind of a chaotic situation. My English was very bad. I barely passed in class 11th, and once I reached class 12th, he was our class teacher. So what I can relate from his experiences, from the experiences that I had, is that it's not the right answer that matters, it's the right question matters. And the teacher enables the student to ask that right question. Questions matters more than the answers. You may, because it's kind of a multiple choice thing. I mean, there can be many more answers to one question, and from him I learned that how to question, and that too from an English teacher. That also made me, I work a little more harder in his subject because I had to pass. It was good that he was always there, instigating me to ask the right question, and of course, the philosophies of life and all that. I did pass with flying colors in English, and of course, you can see me. I mean, please excuse me if I'm not speaking the right English, but yes, that's my tribute to that English teacher. His name is Mr. Ashley Byrne. Second point is more towards uh, the pressing problem of the country with respect to education. Uh, it's time to act. We all know that there is a problem. The learning outcomes are at an all-time low as per all the records. Yesterday only, I went through the last year's ESSA report, and I think I think we need to be very serious about this, we as a country. But the good thing is what eVidyaloka in terms of solving the problem is the teachers. I mean, we all know there is a shortage of teachers. There are huge institutions in the country like SCRT, we have NCRT, we have CBSE, we have CAPE committee, but this very small, I mean, this very problem of teachers is, I think, being effectively more solved by eVidyaloka, by this platform. I think we have much more capable teachers than what our teachers in SCRT and NCRT. I mean, from all these institutions. These institutions, we should go to these institutions and tell them that this is the way we are sourcing teachers. And problem of teachers is, I think, being effectively more solved by eVidyaloka, by this platform. I think we have much more capable teachers than what our teachers in SCRT and NCRT. I mean, from all these institutions. Correct. These institutions, we should go to these institutions and tell them that this is the way we are sourcing teachers. And problem of teachers. So I think being effectively more solved by eVidyaloka, by this.
Right. I think there's an echo or a replay, Rishi, from your end actually. There's been a replay of what you just transferred. Well, that's wonderful. Thanks for sharing.
So there is the last point as well, and for which I'm requesting all the other teachers over here. We are in shortage of Kannada and Telugu teachers. Please spread the word. And
you gotta light away and spread it in Kannada.
Wonderful. So we have overshot by 10 minutes. But that's wonderful. Thank you very much, Rishi, for sharing your views. And we just have someone, Ramya Ramnath, joined in. I'm afraid, I mean, if you're able to hear us. Ramya, if you just joined in, I would encourage that we're just closing in, and I would encourage you to join the evening 8 p.m. session. But if you have been viewing this session through the last 1 hour, would love to kind of probably spend another couple of minutes and hear from you on your views. Ramya, are you able to hear us? All right. So I think with this note, I think it's wonderful. As in an eVidyaloka way, the e-way, we're able to have this eTeacher's Day celebrated jointly along with each one of you here. It's a pleasure and privilege. Let's enjoy this journey together and make it as a habit of our life, actually, to teach the children. I think as a teaching organization, a good teaching organization, we will continue to learn from each one of us and improve and bring the best to the children. So with that note, I'll kind of draw a closure to this session. Thank you, each one of you, for making it on time and taking the extra efforts to join in through this hangout. And have again a wonderful day ahead, and wish you all a very happy Teacher's Day again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.